defendant and the defense attorney. Why was he allowed to attend his pre-sentencing investigation with an entourage?
What's up, fight fans? Today, we're diving into one of the most talked-about boxers in the game, Gervonta "Tank" Davis. But we're not here to break down his highlight reel knockouts or his lightning-fast rise in the ring. Nope, today's focus is on what happened when Tank hit rock bottom, prison. We're talking about the moment those bars slammed shut and why his life seems to have been spiraling out of control ever since. So, what really went down with Tank Davis behind bars? Let's get into it. Before we even get to his time in prison, we need to rewind. Tank wasn't exactly living a trouble-free life before his sentence. He had already been making headlines for all the wrong reasons: legal issues, street fights, hit-and-run charges, and of course, his messy fallout with Floyd Mayweather. The cracks were already beginning to show.
What do you have to say about the charges against you?
Gervonta, you was charged.
You got nothing to say, guys. Come with me. I'm your body.
Did you punch that woman in the face?
You got nothing to say.
Right now, 4:30.
Tank was once the crown jewel of Mayweather Promotions, the fighter Floyd Mayweather himself groomed to be boxing's next superstar. But that relationship fell apart fast. Floyd eventually let him go, and without that guidance and protection, Tank started slipping. The bad decisions kept piling up, and before he knew it, he was facing serious legal trouble. Then, boom, prison time. The moment Gervonta Davis was sentenced, it was clear this wasn't just about serving time, it was a major wake-up call. You know how some people come out of prison stronger, more focused, ready to take on the world? Well, Tank wasn't one of them. Prison wasn't just a physical confinement for him, it was a mental one too. Tank has always been a hothead, both in and out of the ring, but behind bars, all that energy had nowhere to go. When you're used to being the man, the center of attention, the star of the show, being locked away can mess with your mind in a big way. Sources say Tank had a hard time adjusting. Imagine going from being a millionaire with access to anything you want to a cold, concrete cell where you're just another number. That kind of shift hits hard. So when Tank finally walked out of prison, people expected one of two things. Either he'd come back stronger, ready to get his life together and reclaim his spot in boxing, or things would spiral even further. Unfortunately, we all know which way it went. So what really happened to Tank in prison? According to sources, he got involved with some dangerous people while locked up, guys with violent tendencies and deep criminal connections. Trying to survive behind bars, he reportedly fell in with the wrong crowd. And when he finally walked out of those gates, he didn't seem like the same Tank everyone remembered. Sure, he put on a front, smiling for the cameras, acting like he had things under control, but it didn't take long for the cracks to show. Almost immediately, he found himself caught up in more drama, more legal trouble, more fights outside the ring, and more controversies that had fans wondering if he'd ever get back on track. And then came the paranoia. Rumors swirled that prison had left him more suspicious of those around him. Some say he became convinced that people from his own circle had betrayed him while he was locked up. People he once trusted either turned on him or took advantage of his absence.
He's a snake in a suit. That's all. He's a snake.
Hey, you talking about Eddie Hearn?
Bro, he let what's the guy's name? Conor Ben test positive and was still gonna let him fight. Still was gonna let him fight.
Dillian White fought after he tested.
Who? Dillian White. After testing positive, I didn't even know that. Bro, he's a snake, bro. He's bad for
Would you
business.
fight Conor Ben?
Yes, if he off that shit.
On an Eddie Hearn show?
Huh?
On an Eddie Hearn show? Or does it mean
No, because I can't trust Eddie Hearn. You can't trust Eddie Hearn. You can't at all.
Tank has hinted in interviews that he was set up but never named names. However, one name that stands out is Floyd "Money" Mayweather. Ever since Tank's prison stint, he's been taking shots at Floyd, suggesting there's more to their fallout. Whether he feels abandoned or betrayed, one thing is clear: their relationship has never been the same. Not long after his release, Tank found himself at the center of yet another major controversy: a federal raid on his home. Agents stormed in and uncovered illegal firearms, drugs, and more. This wasn't just a minor bust, it was a full-scale operation that turned his world upside down once again. The worst part? Tank was there when it all went down, leaving no room for denial. The evidence was everywhere, and the feds weren't playing around. He was arrested on the spot, adding even more charges to his already complicated legal troubles.
What the hell, bro?
You know, people just...
All right, so what's your side of this?
It was like he couldn't catch a break, or maybe he just couldn't stay out of trouble. And if the gun charges weren't bad enough, there was still the hit-and-run case that had been hanging over Tank's head since 2020. This wasn't just a minor fender bender. 4 people were seriously injured, and Tank allegedly left the scene without offering any help.
Right now, the case against local boxing champ Gervonta Davis is in court. Police say Davis was the driver in a hit-and-run crash in Baltimore that left several people hurt. The crash happened in November 2020 at the intersection of MLK Jr. and Washington Boulevards. The police report says Davis's Lamborghini ran a red light and hit another car. Davis faces 14 counts of various traffic violations, including hit.
Fast forward to post-prison, and this case is still haunting him. Every court appearance is a reminder of how far he's fallen. Even if he somehow beats the charges, his reputation is taking serious damage. But if that wasn't bad enough, one of the most damaging controversies came after his time behind bars: sexual assault allegations. These claims have surfaced more than once, and while his legal team is fighting hard, the damage is already done. To make matters worse, footage allegedly shows Tank assaulting his ex-girlfriend in public, adding fuel to the fire. Fans, critics, and even fellow fighters are all wondering, can he ever come back from this? Not to mention, Tank distanced himself from Floyd, the very person who elevated his career to the next level. You can bet Floyd wasn't too happy when Gervonta Davis suddenly switched up on him.
Well, my thing is, I've always been there for him from day one. We had a game plan, and my game plan was to help him become world champion and take things to that next level. And I've always been there for him. And just over the years, you can see I've always been positive, always said great things about him, always pushed him to be great. And, but over the years, it's constantly going on the internet, take a shot at Floyd, take a shot at Floyd, take a shot at Floyd, constantly be disrespectful, when all I ever been was respectful to try to help this fighter go as far as he could possibly go. That's all I ever did.
That's a wrap for today's video. If you enjoyed it, be sure to leave a like, subscribe, and hit the bell icon so you never miss an update. Drop your thoughts in the comments, and don't forget to share. Stay tuned, we'll catch you in the next one.